Good afternoon. How's everybody doing out there today? Thursday afternoon, and my question to you is, does your YouTube channel need a immunization, a vaccination, a shot? We thought we'd kind of play on that a little bit. So anyway, some of the things we're going to look at today on various channels that are lucky enough to be selected on a wheel. We're going to look at the channel name. We're going to look at the channel art. That includes such things as the banner. And, of course, your icon, your branding overall. No sound. Yeah, there's sound. There's sound. I see sound. Okay. I could turn it up a little bit, but like I say, I see sound. All right. So, anyway, things we are going to look at. Channel name, channel art, banner, icon, channel description. Make sure you got your email in its proper location. We're going to point out to you if you have perhaps put in some things that really don't belong where they might be sitting. Playlist do's and don'ts, thumbnails, your overall channel presentation, and of course, do you have a channel trailer? So, those are just some of the things we're going to be looking at. Before we get into that, because I see there's still names going on to the wheel over here. And folks, you do not have to put in your URL. Just put in your channel name the way that it is on the chat here. So, in other words, if this is the Rusty Pepper, that is all you would put down in the form you fill out, the Rusty Pepper. Or if it's Homestead Dreaming, you just put Homestead Dreaming. No reason to put your URL in there. It's not necessary. Matter of fact, it hurts me a little bit because what we try to do is we try to look up your channel. We look it up by your name. So, based upon that, where was I? I know where I was at. We are approaching the end of 2020. And what a year it's been, right? It's been a whole year with a pandemic, with face masks, with social distancing, all this crazy stuff. So anyway, as most of you know, maybe not all of you, but as most of you know, we do some merchandise for some of the smaller channels. And of course for ourselves. And so we're running just a little bit special here on a couple T-shirts, end of the year type deal. Let me put them on the screen here. I think you'll like them. They're a little bit on the unique side. Don't have a thing to do with homesteading or anything else. This is all timely related. So we have our socialized shirt, which obviously social distancing has been a big thing. So we have our socialized shirt. And then we also have a 2020 shirt. I'll just leave it to your imagination. You can guess what that stands for. So anyway, these shirts sell normally $20 a piece, what they sell for. Here's the deal, because all you people are fantastic in here. If you want one, it's $15 delivered. Now I'm talking United States only, please. The continental United States. Shipping is included. If you want one shirt, it's $15. If you want two shirts, it's $14 a shirt. And if you want 4 or more shirts, it's $13 a shirt. And that's off the price of $20, and that's delivered. Normally they're $20 plus shipping. Now, those of you that are part of Smudge's pack, we take your entire bill, whatever it is that you want, and give you an additional 10% off. So if you bought 2 shirts, that would be at $14 each, $28. and then take another 10% off of that. So take another $280 off of that. Those are for the folks that are in Smudge's Pack. And folks, if you want to join Smudge's Pack, that's just click that join button down there below, and we will be offering specials every month, as well as you getting things in the mail for those folks that are in Smudge's Pack. So those are our shirts, our 2020 shirt and our socialized shirt. If you're interested in any of those, send an email to tfilmhomestead@gmail.com. We'll get back with you with the best way to grab them. And I probably should say that if you need one of the bigger sizes, like a 3X, 4X, 5X, they are a little bit higher. I'm sorry that they just cost us more. So with that, the rules, you folks are the ones that determine whether or not your name is on the wheel. I am not going to try to extract your names off of the chat and put them on the wheel. I just can't do that and do everything else here with the with the screen changing and all of this. If you type in !wheel into the chat window, our bot will give you a link that you can click on and put your name in the wheel. It's also in the description right down below. If you have already been picked tonight and it comes up again, I just pretty much tell you, well, you better go get yourself one of those dollar lottery tickets because it's your day. But no, we're not going to do you twice. If you're not in the chat, if you have to go home for whatever reason, maybe you're out watching in your car, or maybe you have to go away, or maybe you have to go eat dinner, or maybe you have to go feed the animals, or whatever you might have to do. If you're going to have to leave the chat, we certainly understand, and we are glad you're here now. But we do this to help you out. And so if you have to leave, we appreciate you letting us know. And that way we can just kind of skip on to somebody else that's still here and give them an opportunity on their name for the channel. I think that pretty well covers everything. I think it does. Can't think of anything else. So let me bring the wheel over and let's get her started here tonight. All right. It's still filling up here on the wheel, without question. And as you can see, Smudge is guarding the wheel with his custom face mask that we also make those here. And we have our judge or observer over here with her custom face mask on. Give her a spin. And the first one tonight is, well, look at this. Fancy that. All right, folks, Homestead Dreaming is a channel that we frequently use as an example. We make an example out of her because she's been in here frequently. She follows a lot of the things that we have to say, and her channel is a great example. So here's what we do, folks. You are now looking at you're looking at an unsigned in computer screen. If you notice in the upper right-hand side here, it is not signed in. So we do that for a couple of reasons. We want to know how easy is it to find your channel based upon your channel name. And also, if you go to somebody's page in YouTube and you're not a member, the trailer, if they have a trailer, will immediately start playing for you. So we have to kind of duplicate that by just not being signed in. So we're not signed in. We're going to do the search here. And we are looking for Homestead Dreaming. Easy to find right here. 3,380 some subscribers, got 201 videos. Turn that off. As you can see, she has a trailer, jumps right up and is playing here. Her trailer is just over 2 minutes in length. Your trailer should be, I used to say 3 minutes or less. I keep getting hit on that, so I kind of have to go with what the big folks say, 30 to 90 seconds. But I understand that a lot of times you just can't get it covered in 90 seconds. That's only a minute and a half. I think her trailer video is all right. If you find in your analytics, if you've got a 3-minute trailer video, but people are dropping off at 97 or 90 seconds, you might want to consider shortening it a little. So anyway, she does have this trailer video, and it's located in the proper place. It comes up because we are not signed in, or if we were not subscribed, it would come up as well. Nice looking banner at the top. It's kind of plain, simple, and elegant. It's just a good looking banner. Good use of coloring. Let's jump back to the About page and see a little bit more about Homestead Dreaming. As far as YouTube is concerned, she joined YouTube in September of 2017. And the description reads as follows. Welcome, dreamers. We are Kira and Steve, and this is our journey. We are homestead dreaming, meaning that we aspire someday to have many acres of our own to cultivate, but until then, we are making the most of the space that we have. We are slowly but surely trying to become as self-sufficient as we can be on our tiny 1/5 of an acre in northeast Oklahoma, Zone 6B. So grab a drink, and I hope you enjoy the ride as we navigate the ins and outs, growing our own food, caring for our livestock, and stocking our shelves. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. We love for you to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when a new video is uploaded. It does have her email in the proper location and links to Amazon and Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So, folks, that's what I mean. She just does a fabulous job here. She gives you a ton of information in this description. It's easy to read. Every paragraph in the description is 3 lines or less, separated by some white space. It gives the eye a chance to focus on just those short paragraphs, and you can actually read and understand it quicker, better, and retain it better as well. So let's jump back to playlists. She has a couple. One thing we always try to check on a couple playlists at random, if you do have playlists, is we grab a couple and say, geez, did you remember to put a description? For some reason, YouTube doesn't make it as apparent as what I feel they should for description on a playlist. A lot of people miss that. So we're going to look at the In the Kitchen playlist, and the description is right here. And folks, again, she does an excellent job here. She gives a nice description about what is contained in the playlist. It's not just a couple word things like kitchen videos. You know, she gives you a nice little description here. And let's do one more. And again, great description. Now, I will also point out that playlists are primarily here for you, the channel owner's benefit, but they can have multi-functions. Some people want to use playlists for their own personal repository of videos they want to either watch later, save for information, or anything like that. Keep those playlists private so you're the only one that sees them. from a public standpoint, every playlist that you have displayed to the public should be featuring your videos with one exception. And that's if you're in a collaboration with other channels. Speaking of that, we have a holiday collaboration. And surprisingly enough, I mean, there's been a few people joining it, but we really thought there'd be a whole lot more. But we have this holiday collaboration. It's based from out of the kitchen. Anything you can do in the kitchen. If it's a special mixed drink that you do for the holidays, a special dessert, a special dish, anything like that, just jump on board with that. Send us an email when you make your video, and we'll get you added onto that list, and that way everybody benefits. All right. Let's go back and look at the videos, at the thumbnails. And she does a great job with the thumbnails. We're going to talk real briefly on these. Thumbnail is probably the most important part of publishing your videos, because they have to look at the thumbnail before they get to your video. If your thumbnail is not attracting them, if their eye doesn't fall on your thumbnail, or it just glances over it, or is not pleasing to their eye, or whatever, for any reason, they'll never get to your video. So the thumbnail is extremely important. Because of that, things that help in that sense are bright colors, an exaggeration of contrast. And you can see where Kara has done some of that on here. A good contrasting presentation between text and thumbnail, if you choose to have text on your thumbnail. So the font has to be easily legible. You have to be able to see it. It can't blend into the background. And she just does a great job on this. One other thing many people overlook is that lower right-hand corner of a thumbnail is that's YouTube's territory. That's where they always put the timestamp, and anything you put there will be covered up by that. And I see that Kara is also doing some shorts. Shorts is another whole thing. We'll talk more about that with some other folks as we get going here. But no, she does a real great job with her thumbnails. Again, Homestead Dreaming is one of the channels we use as if you want to see a good example of how this stuff should be laid out, this is a channel to look at. Has her uploads container, which is default. That's what everybody starts out with. Now she's added individual playlists. If you notice, this one's a collaboration, so she does have videos in here from other channels. But I don't think you'll find other channel videos in any of her other playlists. So, done a real nice job. She always does. It's always a pleasure to have her in here. So, Homestead Dreaming, thank you so much for being here. We enjoy you, and I hope you don't mind us bragging you up a little bit here from time to time. What was that? I'm sorry. Kara, no description on your shorts playlist, I'm just told. Better get on that. All right, let's go spin the wheel again. Here's 360 Homestead. So I guess that's where you go turn around and you're right back where you started from. It was full circle. So they've elaborated on it. Too many. Yep. 3. 360 Homestead. Yes, this was a channel that just to kind of share the story here with everybody in the chat. They were here originally with a different name, and when I went to look them up, like I just did here with their other name, we found a ton of them. There was a lot of channels with that name. We recommended to them because they were much newer than they are now, that they come up with another name. And Jason, it was Big Bear Homestead. Big Bear Homestead was in the chat that night, and I believe he suggested 360 Homestead to them, and they kind of took off with that name and ran and went ahead and got it changed. And so here they are. They're up to 142 subscribers. They got 34 videos out now. And let's go take a look at their channel. All right. Well, their banner just hits you right in the face. 360 Homestead, you can't miss that. Very easy to see here. It looks like they've just kind of taken a slice out of a big picture and put that 360 on there. But it's, again, yeah, it stands out. It's going to look good on every device. They also have a trailer video here that's 3 minutes and 15 seconds in length. So that's I'm going to make a real quick suggestion on this because I'm just watching it now. Obviously, I can't hear it. I have the sound all turned off on this end. I never know what somebody's going to have in their video, so I always have it turned down. But looking at what I see here, you might be able to take this video as it is, throw it back into your editor, and just speed it up. Just speed it up a little bit and get it well below that 3-minute mark. I don't know if you can or not. It's going to depend on what's playing there. But in a 3-minute video, you can frequently speed it up by 15 seconds, and nobody will know the difference that you ever did it. That amount of speed up doesn't make you sound like Donald Duck or anything. Now, if you go faster, another story. Let's go to the About page. Description reads as follows. We moved to the country in northern Ohio from the suburbs of north central Indiana, December of 2019. I've always loved to bake, but there's always been a country girl trapped inside. I'm now living a dream I didn't know I had. I'm gardening in raised beds, thanks Ohio Clay, in Zone 6A. We started our livestock journey with chickens, but plan on adding dairy goats, pigs, and horses. I'm also beginning a journey as a cottage baker, which is a lot harder than I thought. Follow along with me as I navigate gardening, raising livestock, running a cottage bakery, and of course, cooking all of the things. So for those, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Come for those, stay for the positive messages. Couple things you could put in here. You could put in how much property you have. I mean, obviously you have some because you're mentioning that you want to add dairy, goats, pigs, and horses, but it's always a little bit interesting. Are you on 5 acres, 4 acres, 40 acres, 50, 100, whatever the size is? That could certainly be put in there. You could also elaborate a little bit more about your gardening. You do say raised beds, and I see you say thanks Ohio Clay. Well, of course, that can all be amended. Very few of the farmers around go into raised beds, so obviously they figured out a way to make the fields work. Just some different thoughts. You've left a lot of room here that you could enhance and go on with this. You have your email in the proper location, and you have a link to Facebook as well. So nice job on the description. Jump back, and here you have some playlists. So we're just going to grab a couple here at random. Yard and Garden we'll do first. Take a peek at that one. And yes, you have a description on this one. And we'll grab chickens. And you have a good description on that one as well. Jump back into your videos. And let's take a look at your playlist. Or not, I'm sorry. We looked at your playlist. Now we're looking at your thumbnails here in your videos. And they have adapted a color theme. At least this is the way I see it. They've adapted a color theme for the majority of their videos using this, I don't know, some sort of teal, turquoise coloring. And they are doing this on most all of their videos. There's a few in here that don't have it, but for the most part, that's with all of them. And I'm just glancing here. The problem that I see personally, maybe it's because I'm old and I don't see as well as I used to, but I'm having a hard time reading the text, reading the verbiage on many of these, simply because there's not enough contrast. Let me get out the magnifying glass. Your most recent one here. This is the So Easy and So Good. I find that I could read that, but the next one underneath, I can't read it. I have no idea what it is saying, especially if I was trying to look at that on a phone. We'll come over to this one. Although the colors are very pretty, the purple with the minimal amount of a black shadow behind it, it's just, there's not enough difference here. It doesn't jump off the page. And then, of course, up here at the top, I see it says 360 Homestead up here at the top, and I had to really squint to go grab it. I'm thinking you'd do a little better with higher contrast and easier to read on many of these. Again, the text in a lot of these is just too small. Now, in looking at these, it looks like the 360 Homestead is the part that's tiny, but it's not in a individual location. Like, it's not always in the left-hand corner or throughout every video. So it's kind of all over the place. And again, these are just thoughts and comments that I'm sharing with you that maybe you did or did not think of. This one is much easier to read than this one is. And this one is easier to read than this one. And I think you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. I feel that I have to talk about this just for a moment. I see that you have a shorts up here. And I'm going to open it. Okay, that's a cute video. But now I need to ask you, it looks too wide. It doesn't look like it's formatted properly for shorts. And that's what I noticed here on your on the front. Shorts are a crazy hit miss thing, and if you don't have things right, they are not going to take off. So a short has a format that's a 6. What is it? 6 by 19. 19 by 6. what is it? Yeah, 19 by 6 is a regular format. It's the full screen format, only it's turned sideways. So it's a format from a cell phone. I'm way down here in the bottom corner. That little picture of me with your cell phone held in a portrait mode, which is up and down. The way that for years we always told you, anytime you want to make anything for YouTube, you got to take this phone and you got to hold it horizontal. For a short, it has to be vertical. And that's your full format of that short video. So, all right, jump back to your home page, see what you've done here, if anything. And you've done some modifications. So she has the default container, the uploads. Of course, she has her trailer video in the proper location. Has added some individual playlists. Well done. Nicely laid out. Very nice. Great job. 360 Homestead, thank you so much for being here. I hope maybe we helped you in some little way. And appreciate your support with being here today. And please bring friends every week. Okay, let's go spin the wheel again. Boots and Bounty Homestead. Boots and Bounty. And Boots and Bounty Homestead has got 151 subscribers. I got 92 videos. Let's go take a look here. Okay. So, Boots and Bounties. I like your banner, except there's no verbiage. I love the picture. I think it's great. I love the picture. But I would certainly be inclined to, in this area, let me get my drawing pen. I would go right in this area here, probably at an angle. I'd get this Boots and Bounty Homestead, like it was engraved into the wood underneath that. I think that would set it off. The reason for that is, like I said, I love the picture. Great picture. They're not responding.
There they are.
Okay. All right. And as I was saying, I love the picture, but there's nothing that's making it yours. Where I've drawn the red line here, I would get Boots and Bounty, like it's engraved into or somehow onto that board that you're all standing on top of here. But no, great picture. Let's go take a look at. Yeah, there's no trailer. Description reads as follows. We are a family of 5, living and learning how to become more self-sustainable. Things are constantly changing in this world, and it's great to have some self-sustaining skills under your belt. Come along with us, and we will show you some of the things we do and teach you to do them for yourself. And we can grow and learn together. Self-sustaining skills are a dying art that needs to be revived by you. Come on our journey with us. You might just learn a thing or two that you can use down the road. Thanks for stopping by. God bless. And then you have contact information. And, okay.
Karen just joined.
Well, Grammy Karen, thank you so much. Welcome to to Smudge's Pack. Okay. What I'm seeing here under your contact information, can one of the mods out there jump on their page that's signed in, and I want you to open up the email address and tell me if the email address is just bootsandbountyhomestead@gmail.com or if it's got a www. In front of it. I have an idea that this is just way, way wrong here.
You know, on the actual email address?
Yes.
It comes up www. Yeah.
Inside it does?
Uh-huh.
Okay, then what you have up there is correct. It's very odd that it would be that way, but that's fine. But don't put it here. Do not put it here. And here's...
It shouldn't come up www.boots.
Well, if...
Copy it, it should just be Boots and Bounty Homes.
Well, yeah, but there's nothing that says that...
Right. Yeah.
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 So, but the problem with putting your email address on a plain page like this, the internet is full of all kinds of creepy crawly things. They call them bots and spiders, and I'm sure some people have other names for them. And what they do is they jump around from site to site, and they scour around, and they pilfer bits and bytes and data off of pages that they can get to. This description page is one of those pages that's easily accessible from everywhere. Now, a worst case scenario, chances are it'll never happen, but a worst case scenario is one of these bots could come in here and they could scrape this email address off of this page because they can get to it there because it's not behind the CAPTCHA area where where YouTube is giving you that position to put it. You have it there too, but you also have it up here. Now here's what can happen. They can come in and one of those bots could steal that information. And what are they going to do with your email address? Well, email. Yeah, it could be flooded everywhere. They could use your email address to spam people. Because they could fake your email address and throw it out there. It's just don't make it easy for them. So you want to get that off. There's no hotspot here. If somebody did want to use it, they'd have to highlight it and copy it and paste it into a mail program. You got it in the right location here. Just leave it there. Facebook and Instagram, which is wonderful. But let's talk about your description. It's one big paragraph that makes it very difficult to read. It's a proven fact that most of us can't focus on this many words all lumped together. So the general rule of thumb is multiple paragraphs separated by white space. No more than 3 lines in a paragraph. So in other words, and I'm not going by content here, I'm just doing this as an example. 3 lines, white space. 3 lines, white space. 3 lines, white space. But, break it up properly. If it's 1 line or 2 lines, that's fine. But just put some white space in there so that the eye doesn't start to wander and skip lines and go to words and interpret information improperly. Just makes it easier to read and easier to understand. Let's jump back to playlists, and you got a couple here. I'm going to open up the Cooking for Scratch because that one just caught my eye first. And you do not have a description. And I'm going to guess that maybe a lot of these do not have. Obviously, you're just kind of getting going on here, and this is what we try to do, is to teach and show you some different tricks and tips. This one does have a description. So maybe you just missed it with this one. Let's do one more. We'll do the fermenting. And that one has a description. So just double check all these. The Cooking from Scratch did not have a description. So I would update it 2 days ago. This one does not. Your line dance does not. Another quick item here. In this playlist, you have a video in here that, number one, I don't think has anything to do with line dance. Number two, it's not from your channel, and I don't know that you even knew it was in here. It's from Living Traditions. It's right here. Is Lord Healthy? And again, it's real easy to do. It can happen, but I don't think you want this video in this playlist. So just kind of check out your playlist and make sure you got in there what you think you have and locations you want them. All right, go look at your thumbnails. And I'm going to guess you use Filmora. Hope maybe we'll catch you on some Tuesday night. We feature a lot of Filmora tutorials on Tuesday nights. Here we teach you how with Filmora and with Power Director both. But I can tell this is a Filmora piece here. Okay.
360 just doing.
Well, 360 Homestead, thank you so much for joining Smudge's Pack. Glad to have you. Okay. Let me just say that it's of my opinion, for the most part, your thumbnails need a little bit of work. Overall statement here first to begin with is a lot of the pictures that you have, and they could be a frame out of the video. I don't know. I don't know if you take your own pictures for thumbnails, which you should do if at all possible, or if you just let YouTube select a frame out of them. But many of these are too dark. It's just in general, they're dark. For example, and I'm not going to talk about the shorts right now, but this picture, this would be just so much better if it's just brighter. It's just a little bit too dark. This is another one that's too dark. This is too dark. This is another one. It fades off. This one, the distance is too far away. You're too far away. You can't. I can see there's two people standing there, but they might as well be standing on the other side of a 40-acre field. So it's too far away. You get into these other ones here, and be honest with yourself. Looking at here, looking at this page of thumbnail pictures, is there anything here that really attracts your eye to go, oh, let me make the next step and go look at this video? So the eye to the thumbnail is the first thing. Got to attract the eye. Once the eye's attracted, then you go down and you look at the title. So thumbnail attracts, title attracts, and they click to watch it. Those are kind of the 3 steps that are involved in getting somebody to watch one of your videos. I think if this were mine, I would strongly consider replacing most, if not all, of these thumbnails. And use some examples. Just, let's see, Homestead Dreaming. We mentioned that as a good example. Another good example is someone else that's probably in the chat here, and that's Mama Z's Texas Kitchen. She has fabulous thumbnails. Off Grid with Doug and Stacy is another one. Big Bear Homestead does a really decent job. So those are all folks that you can simply go look at as examples. Now here's the neat thing that YouTube has allowed us to do with thumbnails and videos. You can't go back in and edit these videos. If you were to download it, edit it, and re-upload it, well, then it's a new video. So any views or any other things that you had on this video, you lose. If you download it, if you shut it off, you lose. I don't know where you're at in the way of getting monetization or watch hours or anything, but you don't want to do that. You want to maximize the views that you have. But you can change things. You can always go back in and you can upload a new thumbnail. So here's things you can do to your video after the fact. You can change the thumbnails. You can change them every day, 5 times a day if you want. Change the thumbnail. You can change the title. You can go in and change the metadata underneath. That's the keywords. That's at the bottom of the video description as you're doing this on a computer. So you can change all that metadata. You can also add end screens and informational cards. All of those things you can do after the fact. And sometimes you can take a video that just didn't perform the way you thought it should, and you just change that, and all of a sudden it takes off. Because people just didn't notice it before. Let's say one other thing here quickly about verbiage on a thumbnail. If you add any text, any sayings on a thumbnail, it has to add to the video. If it doesn't enhance the video in some way, it's a waste of time. It doesn't do any good. So it has to add. It has to be catchy. It has to be short, sweet, and catchy. If you have a whole dissertation about the video on the thumbnail, people just glance over it. They're not interested. Nothing there. So, all right, let's go on. We'll jump back to your homepage here. Trailer. That's the other thing I would consider doing. That's 30 to 90 seconds in length. Short video, sharing with folks who you are, what they can expect to see here, perhaps how often you're going to upload. These are all just general lighthearted information. Your banner up here top is also a good place to that you could, if you have an upload schedule, like you're going to upload every week, you could put new videos weekly on the banner, which kind of kills a couple birds with one stone. But I do love the picture. Boots and Bounties Homestead, thank you so much for being here. I hope maybe we enlightened you in a couple ways, and thank you for being here today. And let's get the wheel back up and get somebody else up here. Any questions about any of this stuff, folks? Or if you have any questions on how to do anything, send us an email to familyhomestead@gmail.com.
Regarding the email on their about page, cannot do it with the www. It'll bounce back at you. You do that in the email. It has to be just there, like to familyhomestead@gmail.
Okay.
You can't.
So that's not actually part of their email address.
No. It has to be just,
Okay, yeah.
because it'll bounce back.
All right, so and this is important enough. I'm going to go back. I'm going to because I haven't taken the page down here yet or anything. This is very, very important. I did not think this was, but I can't. Although I'm working on a couple different computers here, I don't have the time or resources to sit here and check. But Sherry was kind enough to go check this. www is not part of the email address. It can't be added there. I'm guessing your email is Boots and Bounty Homestead. Did you test that by chance?
Boots and Bounty Homestead email works, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The www will
So
bounce right back at you.
www can't even be there. So, and you're saying that's in the full email address
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
down here?
Yeah.
So that needs to be fixed as well.
Yes. Take out the one that's above and fix the one in the
Yeah. Yeah. So this one, this line right here that I have highlighted, you just need to eliminate that, wipe that off. And for the one that's hidden here that I can't get to because I'm not signed in, apparently that one is also incorrect. You got to get that www dot off the front of it. It can't be prefaced with anything. So, all right. And again, Boots and Bounty Homestead, thank you for being here. Let's spin the wheel and move along. Red Silo Homestead. I've heard this name before.
It's because we mailed a package yesterday. It became a Smudges pack member last week.
Red Silo Homestead. Looks like they're approaching 1,300 subscribers. They got 51 videos. Let's go look at their page. All right. A very plain, to the point banner, but very easy to read, and make no mistake, you know exactly where you're at when you see this. They have a 1-minute trailer down here, introduction video, and of course you can read a little bit of the description here that says it's a little backstory on who we are and where we came from. And I can see they've got some stuff floating through this little video here. Looks like it's, I'd say she's excited in that picture. Let's jump back to the About page and get a little bit more information on Red Silo Homestead. Description reads, he's a 20-year Navy veteran with a background in electrical engineering and military law enforcement. She's a Navy veteran with a background in law enforcement and corrections. Both managed to escape California, where the Navy dropped them off, and finally made it to their forever home in central Kentucky. Starting out on a 6-acre homestead with a farmhouse built in 1905, Darren and Justine, I think is how that's pronounced, Justine, are learning how to incorporate some of the old ways of doing things into a modern lifestyle. Gardening to grow healthy food for the family, raising chickens for eggs, canning and preserving the harvest, raising, I don't know, some sort of geese.
Toulouse. You went through this last
I
one?
know.
Toulouse.
Toulouse.
Just say raising geese.
Oh. Are they even American geese? Is that a new import? Toulouse? Don't know geese?
I mean, the ones we have are Canadian, so what do we know? Fly overhead.
Rabbits, creating an orchard, building projects and upgrades to the homestead. So this is their story as they recover from military life and start a brand new journey into homesteading. Email address is in the proper location. They have links to Facebook and Twitter, which are also reflected on the banner up above. We'll jump back into playlists, see if they have any, and they do. So I'm going to look at experiments. And there is a nice little description here. Some good, some bad, some that go horribly wrong, but we're not afraid to try. So.
Red Silo Homestead. Too Loose. TWO is pronouncing it.
Too Loose.
Too Loose, yep.
Okay. That's opposed to being too tight, too loose.
It's French.
What the heck? Check out this playlist.
I like that.
All right, what the heck? And there is a description here as well. Surprising head scratchers that we've discovered on the homestead. Okay. And let's jump over into their videos. Take a peek at their thumbnails. All right. Now, they've incorporated a different method that we've not really discussed much today yet anyway, where they have a, I'm going to call it a signature branding on their thumbnails. For the most part, they're all identical, and I'm going to say that of recent especially they are. But they've incorporated this red banner, maybe, down the one side. Let's see, as you're looking at it, I'm going to say on the western side of their thumbnail here. But I'm also seeing a line on that I can't read, so I'm going to get my magnifying glass out and just see what's there. Oh, that one says shorts. That one says shorts. All right, I see what they're doing here then. So those that are designated as shorts, they've just added the word shorts underneath, and that's fine. Let me quickly, again, share some. Shorts are still something that we're all learning about here. But shorts, the thumbnail that if you create a thumbnail like they've done for these, this is great for on your page here. Absolutely wonderful. I think it makes it look much, much better. But should these shorts make it to the shorts shelf, the thumbnail disappears. This little thing for your general knowledge. The thumbnail absolutely disappears. So, but I think I'm going to say just an absolute great job here with the thumbnails. Jump back to the home page. And they have taken their uploads, moved it down to the bottom. Nicely done. We're using individual playlists here. And you've heard me already talk about the description on these playlists. Right here's why it's real important. You put those up front here, and you are now conveying the first bit of that information to people on the that are on your homepage here. Nice job. Nicely done. Red Silo Homestead. We certainly hope to meet you folks in the 2021 year coming up. You're not that far away, and I'm assuming we'll probably maybe catch up with you at the Homesteaders Picnic or something.
I don't know. We have the Buckeye Sizzler. They love us this year.
Yeah, and Or maybe the Buckeye Sizzler may take place this year. Hopefully COVID is well gone by then. All right. Red Silo Homestead, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. And glad to have you. Please bring a friend. Let's go spin the wheel. All right. Do you know, is he Scottish or anything?
Is who Scottish?
Kilted Gardner.
Oh, he's the one. Oh, he just came in just a little bit ago.
Kilted Gardner.
Just give him a cheesecake. He'll be happy.
Just give him a cheesecake? Okay. All right. Kilted Gardner. Come on down.
He's making vegetable beef soup. Okay, that sounds good.
Kilted Gardner. Almost 1,500 subscribers. Got 96 videos. Oh, I have to share with you that in a trailer video that's almost 30 minutes long is just, that's no good. That's no good. All right, so I'm going to get real critical of you here to help your channel. Number one, this trailer video is way too long. 30 to 90 seconds, very quick intro. A little bit about yourself, what people are going to expect to see here on the channel, and so on and so forth. Your banner, although colorful, is on a phone would be absolutely horrible. Let me get my pen out. Now, I'm not going to have this to the exact location, but somewhere right about here and right about here, everything to the left of this mark?
So that's not his, Daryl.
This is not his?
No.
Oh, I see that.
His is Kilted Gardner, one word, period.
I'm sorry, I overlooked it.
Yes, you did.
However.
Yeah, Sean, I told him.
So let me apologize. And let me just, who is this guy over here? He should be on this show. The Kilted Gardner should be here. I've been doing his thing here.
Well, he's not, so.
He's not. All right, kick him off. Wait a minute. Well. As you can see, I have Kilted Gardner in the search list. And when this came up, I didn't even notice the in front of it. My mistake. But if I made that mistake, can you imagine how many other people might make that mistake? And I'm just throwing this out for your information.
He doesn't have that in front of it. Kilted Gardner.
Okay. But if he goes somewhere and says, hey, I got a YouTube channel, and he's telling somebody, and they're going to remember Kilted Gardner, and that's what I typed in, Kilted Gardner, but this came up. Wow, you think people wouldn't say, oh, okay, there it is?
They could. They don't have a sticker on their computer like I do. I got a sticker.
All right.
Sorry, that guy's an imposter. Exactly.
All right. I found him because I recognize this. I absolutely recognize this.
Yeah.
So, Kilted Gardner, you can have your own discussion with us other Kilted Gardner, but I can tell you right now, his channel needs a lot of work. Let's see what yours needs. Well, that looks a whole lot better. I'm guessing that's that's fully in on a phone. It's very close. So Kilda Gardner, 461 subscribers. But where's your trailer video? I can still holler at him. All right, so when you're sitting there munching down on that cheesecake, you can be making yourself a trailer video. Go back to the About page and see what you have to say about yourself. Hello, everyone. My name is Robert, also known as Kilted Gardener. My heritage is really important to me, and that is how I came up with Kilted Gardener. And yes, I do like to wear a kilt once in a while. Oh, okay. Then we have it's not actually a typo, but it's a space error here. So I'll just mention this to you. Then it says, I also have a degree in horticulture that I'm almost done with, but the space is gone, so you're going to want to jump in there and correct that. On my channel, you will see that I like to dabble in a little of everything. I will feature mainly gardening, homesteading, and cooking on this channel. My goal with this channel is to share my story and adventures, and I hope to build a homestead. Wait a minute. I hope to build a homestead in Virginia where my family and I can live more sustainable without having to rely on the commercial food system. Email addresses in proper location, links to Facebook, a Facebook group, and Instagram are all down here at the bottom. I've looked back over this on at least 3 different times now because I thought I did, but I didn't. There's so much, Robert, I think there's so much missing out of here. You talk about your heritage, and that's all fine and good, and that's an interesting thing, but where do you live? Are you...
It says Virginia.
Well, it says, I hope to build a homestead in Virginia. So I'm going to assume that maybe you are in Virginia, but this could also imply that you're not, but you're hoping to get there. So doesn't indicate amount of there's a lot here. I think you could add, make it easier to read, and give a lot more information. Jump back and look at the playlists. You got one, cooking and preserving. Let's see if you have a description on it, and you do. In this playlist, you'll find my cooking and preserving methods. All your videos, nicely done. Thumbnails, here we go. Okay, you're hitting up here on a lot of the shorts, which is fine. But let's go back, and we're going to look at some full size videos. I'm not going to say there's anything really wrong with this in substance, but it is very plain. And yet, because of the scripted text, it is more difficult for a lot of people to read. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people can't not read script. So, Robert, I know you can do so much better. I just know you can do so much better.
Well, he says he does it so you can pick them apart as an example.
We can do this. We can absolutely do this. All right, let's also talk down here. Chicken soup for the soul. says the same thing on your thumbnails it does in the title. It's one of those redundant things. It's not helping you at all. Secondly, it's encroaching on YouTube space in the lower right-hand corner of this thumbnail. See, they're covering up your sole word. Here we have a light problem, lighting issue. You're in the shadows. I mean, it says car trouble, but I don't know. The Mother's Day 2019, even with my magnifying glass, I can't hardly read this. So I would, in your off time, in your spare time, Robert, I'd consider, popping into some editing practice and come up with a couple new thumbnails you could upload on some of these videos, just for practice. Okay.
He says, on the fly thumbnail, I just learned about Canva, so I plan to change.
Okay. Great. And I personally am not a Canva user, but we have a gal that comes in once every 4 to 6 weeks or so and sits in on a Tuesday night, Tech Tuesday, and features Canva for those of you that that are interested in the program. She features primarily on the free side of it. I mean, although she has a paid side, when she comes in and shows it on the free side as to just what you can do without having to pay any money. It's especially helpful to those of you that maybe don't have a PC and just have a phone to work with, because it's an online program and they have a lot of templates you can use. So Canva is one of the hidden gem resources that's available to use. And if you ever have a question on using that, Copper Kettle Farms, Crystal is her name. She's her full-time business is doing websites and things like that. So I mean, she's well versed in graphic design and so on and so forth. So from a Canva standpoint, I always refer folks to her. If you want to play on your own and you don't want to spend any money, well, hey, we can help you out here on a Tuesday night, because we'll show you how to do it with free tools that you can use on your computer. All right. Jump over to the home page. You just have uploads. I would go ahead and add your playlist down under here. Just add your playlist, create yourself a trailer video, and Robert, I think you're good to go with that. And believe me, I only pick on you to attempt to try to help you. We love you to death. Robert, thanks so much for being here. Always great having you, and you are welcome at any time. Let's go spin the wheel again. The overworked gardener. Well, hello, Ridge Life. How are you doing, sir? The overworked gardener. Let's go find this channel. The Overworked Gardener has 344 subscribers. It got 77 videos. Let's go find out a little bit more about the Overworked Gardener. Okay. Number one, I'm sorry, I don't recognize your name. Sherry might, but she's taking care of Smudge right now. So I will say I don't see a channel trailer here. So that's the first thing that pops up or that I noticed, no channel trailer. Second thing is, obviously, I'm going to say this is probably a picture that you took that you're using for the banner. But again, there's no information here. It's like one of those blank billboards that you pass going down the road that, they didn't even pay to say, hey, you can rent me, or call this number to get your message out to the 40 million cars that drive by. There's just nothing here. And it's a shame because it's a great picture. So I would incorporate some text up here on the top. Good contrasting colors. Can be done with a block background. Oh boy. All right, Overworked Gardener. We're looking here. Default container down here on the bottom. Let's jump to the About page and find out a little bit more about the Overworked Gardener. And the description reads as follows. Relaxing after long days of work in the garden. Well, hopefully. Trying to keep the goats out of the garden. Trying to keep my kids from eating plants they shouldn't eat. I may eat ghost peppers or Carolina Reaper or something else spiky. Never know what's going to happen, so stay tuned. You can find me on Facebook groups, Instagram groups, Twitter groups. All right. So let's talk briefly here about your description. From here down, just take that stuff off of there. Absolutely does not need to be here at all. There is a location down underneath where your email address is. I'm going to make the assumption you have your proper email address here because there is one that's been filled out behind this thing that I can't get to. I'm going to say your email is proper. But Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, your website, any other social media platforms that you can think of, those can all be linked down at the bottom. It's a multi-step process where you can have a full description and then you put the link as to where it's going. So, for example, you could say my Facebook page as a description for people to click on, and then you put the link, which is hidden, but it is underlying to that description. That's all down here at the bottom of this page. Another advantage to that is up to 5 of those links that you put down there will also be displayed on your banner if you choose to make them that way. And any of these things that we're talking about that you don't know how to do or have a question about how to do, feel free to send an email to familyhomestead@gmail.com. Try to give me as much explanation and a question as possible. Be more than happy to get back with you. We could either, if I can't answer you quickly in an email, if necessary, we can even do a one-on-one in a Zoom meeting or something where I can show you, or in some cases I've actually helped people just to get them over that initial hump, just to get them set up and going. Description on the back here. Things to add. Kind of what's your location without giving them your location. In other words, don't give them your street address. Don't say what town you live in. But if you're in, for example, Alabama, you could say northern Alabama or southern Alabama. That's close enough, but it gives people a point of reference that they can associate with. If you're talking about gardening, you could indicate what growing zone you're in. You could indicate what type of gardening you're doing. In your case here, it looks like I'm seeing some raised beds, but I'm also seeing some in-ground behind. So those are all things you can add into this description. You want to keep it light, breezy, and interesting. Multiple paragraphs, no more than 3 lines each. Okay, we'll jump into the playlists here. You got a couple of them. So we're going to first look at the 3 R's playlist. And there's no description. So there's no description on this one. Let's look at the reclaimed or repurposed washer tub. And there's no description here. Okay, and you may not be aware of this, but when you create a playlist, there is a location to put a description of that playlist, and it's very important you do that. You don't just want a couple words. You want to describe what is contained in this playlist. So, again, it doesn't have to be a 14-page dissertation of what it is, but just a nice general, more than a line description of what's there, what's it containing, what are people going to see when they come into this playlist. Let's go look at some of your thumbnails here. We get the last 18 of them on the page here. Okay. And just looking at the last 18 of them, in my opinion, the absolute best thumbnail you have on this page is this one right here. This is the absolute best thumbnail that I see on the page. Now, here's why. Facial expressions are wonderful. The lighting is good. So you've got a happy look. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm looking closer now, and I can now tell what you're holding, but it didn't matter. I'm seeing somebody that's smiling, and believe me, this is such a pleasure to see somebody without a damn mask on. But this, I think, is your absolute best thumbnail. Now let's talk about some problem ones. The text on this, even with the magnifying glass, is very, very, very difficult to read. So this is not helping you at all. There's not enough contrast in this one. The red just part of it is due to the font that you've chosen, and part of it is just, I'm going to say most of it is probably the font, but there could be a better differential in getting the text to pop out. Now, because I can't read that even with the magnifying glass, I'm looking at this one, air layering tomato. Is that helping your video, those 3 words? You're using them again right here. So is it redundant? I'm asking you. You have to make that decision. But stay away from real fancy fonts, scripted fonts, calligraphy fonts, unless it's the very, very open, very clear type of calligraphy or script. So it's real easy to read. We'll move on to the next one here. Again, very difficult to read what's up here. Are you telling the whole story in a couple lines above the on the top of the thumbnail? And it looks like I'm seeing this. Will this husband and wife survive the something challenge? It's redundant. It's the same thing as your title. And they certainly can't read this, so I have to come down here to see it. I would suggest, rather than put all this up here, just use a single word. Go for a keyword. Say challenge. or contest or just an action word. The text on this one is difficult. The multicolored text on this is extremely difficult. Here's one that's your dates are starting to edge out of the thumbnail. The multicolored, it doesn't work. This indoor grow update, that's it's just not standing out. But this one's a great thumbnail. This one's a great thumbnail. Now, at your discretion, at your time, I would certainly consider updating some of these thumbnails. And again, I mentioned it before. You can do that at any time. You can create a new thumbnail and you can upload it. You can replace the thumbnails there. You don't want to try to take the video down. You don't want to do that kind of stuff. But you can replace that thumbnail. You can replace the title and redo it. There's no trailer video. And you have some thumbnails. You have some playlists. So I would certainly consider adding a couple playlists up here on front. And of course, if you add that description on there, that'll also be carried forward. So if I had a hit list, first thing I'd do is the banner. Second thing, I'd get that trailer video. Third thing I would work on is the description. And then I would address some of your thumbnails. That would be the working order I would have. Overworked Gardener, I just gave you more work to do. I'm sorry. But thank you so much for being here. I hope that, number one, please know I'm not picking on you to pick on you. I'm picking on you to help you present a better personalized page to folks in the YouTube community.
I have a question if we're going to be on New Year's Eve.
That's 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, next Thursday's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we have Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And I don't know, but I'm going to say there's a good chance we will be. There's a good chance we will be. Angel's Army. Let's go see what Angel's Army is.
Wait a minute. Have you reloaded it lately? You haven't reloaded it. It's been over an hour.
Yeah.
You're missing some.
All right. They will be added here momentarily. Is Angel's Army in the chat?
They were a little while ago. Yeah, they're here.
All right. Angel's Army.
Here.
Okay. Angel's Army. Let me make sure do I have the right channel up here?
No.
Because I see that I goofed up here just a little bit. There we go. This has got to be it.
Yes.
I thought so. Here we go. All right, Angel's Army. Interesting banner here. Got Got a great smile there. Well done on the banner. Trailer that's 51 seconds in length. Nice job. Let's go look at the About page. Welcome to Angel's Army. I'm an independent adult who is diagnosed with autism, ADHD, bipolar, mood, and seizure disorders. On this channel, you will find me do mukbangs, challenges, unboxings, product reviews, and inspirational messages about courage and understanding. Keep moving forward. The further you go, the further you'll proceed in life in what you believe in, because if you believe, you can achieve. And Angel is out of Arizona, has a post office address here. Email address is in the proper location, has links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I'm not sure what Cash App is. Angel, I will just mention to you, you might want a better description here, because a lot of people would have, it would be very adverse to just clicking on something that says Cash App. So, I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure I want to click on it. Jump back and see if you have some playlists, which you do. Giving Thanks Month playlist. Let's look at that one. And there's no description on this one. And now we get to show something else here, Angel. And I'm glad we happened to catch on this, because this is going to help other people see this as well. Folks, if you have a playlist, and if you've had content in that playlist, and that content gets deleted or made private or somehow not available to the public, this is what it looks like in the playlist. So you have to maintain your playlist. You have to remember to go into a playlist and keep them up to date if they contain videos that have been altered in some fashion. So it's just a matter of coming in here, and he has to delete these. You also need to add a description on this one, Angel. So let's check this one out. Cooking and eating playlist. And this is all Angel's Army. All good, but there's no description. So this is another one. Angel, I think you could probably just go in and check all of your playlists and add that description where necessary. It's very, very easy to overlook that. Let's take a peek at your videos. Thumbnails. Okay, my opinion, Angel. Your best thumbnail on this page is this one right here. Got your big smile up front here. I don't even know what the video is about, but my eyes are attracted to this thumbnail. I'm going to say, well, here's a guy smiling. Now I'm going to find out why. I'm going to go down and read this. Let's help someone out. So you've got a title that's meant to attract, to generate interest. You've got this big smile on your face. This is a great thumbnail. This one, well, the text at the bottom is the new supermarket, something that's hidden behind this, behind the time. There's, I don't this thumbnail's not doing you any favors, Angel. It's just not doing you any favors. It's partially hidden. It's very difficult to read. Looks like this is from out of a live stream, and this is just a screenshot out of the live stream. I think it would behoove you to create a manufactured thumbnail for your live streams rather than to rely on just a frame out of the live stream. Okay, and let's go ahead and mention this one. I think what you've got here is good, with the exception, you notice the glare on this box. So again, this is this could be handled in post-production and editing. You could get rid of a lot of that, but just pay attention to what it is you're doing when you're creating those thumbnails, and be critical of yourself. Be very, very critical of yourself. Remember, that thumbnail has to attract people to go look at what it's covering up. All right, your homepage, you have the uploads, and you have modified that homepage. You've added a container of popular uploads. And then you have past live streams, which is a playlist. If you had a description on that, that description would be right here. I'm not a big fan of popular uploads. Maybe that's a personal thing with me, but I'm just not a big fan of popular uploads. And this is a good example. If I go back and I look in your videos, I can see you're pretty active. 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, last week. You're pretty active. Matter of fact, as we get down here, some of these thumbnails are really looking good. I don't know why you've gotten away from some of this, because I think these are much, much better than what you've got it going up here. Again, that's my opinion. But you're a pretty active person. We'll get back to your homepage here, and I'm seeing you've got this popular uploads, which is a default container that YouTube supplies you. They just throw this out here and say, oh, grab this one. We'll put it on your homepage, make it look pretty. A year ago. So by looking at this, somebody's going to say, well, what have they done for the past year? They're not popular anymore. I'm just throwing that out there. Food for thought. It's one of the reasons I'm not a fan of it. But Angel, thank you for being here. Appreciate that very much. I am going to go over here and refresh the wheel. And the reason I have to do that, folks, is this wheel is tied into Google Docs. And it's an automated process that when you fill out the form, that actually puts that information onto a spreadsheet that this wheel links to and extracts that information and populates it on the wheel. The problem is it only stays linked for an hour. I am Dutch off-grid homesteading? Is it in the room?
He's been here since the beginning.
Well, Dutch, I'm sorry. I overlooked you someplace. I usually try to say hi to you. So, it's our friend from Holland. Okay. Wheel has been refreshed. Let's give her a spin. Oh, Susie.
She mentioned she hasn't put her name on the wheel for a long time, and look who you picked.
Bandana Grandma.
People are scary.
We have had the pleasure of...
She goes, huh?
We have had the pleasure of meeting Bandana Grandma in person.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful lady.
Mm-hmm.
And Susie has 12,200 some subscribers, got 343 videos out there. Has a very, very nice logo that I forget who it was that made that for her, but that's nicely done. Let's go look at her channel.
Colleen.
Oh. Wait a minute. Did I click something wrong here? I know. Here we go. All right. Bandana Grandma. Oh, from Michigan.
Yeah.
From Michigan. Colleen made that for her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm gonna share something here with everybody. You need to go and investigate some of the videos on Susie's channel here, because she has an array of helpers throughout her house. Little fantasy helpers, little fairies that are featured in some of her videos. And that's all I'm going to say. You just need to go check that out. I'm going to be a little bit critical on her banner.
Rexana says, I noticed today that you move a video from one playlist to another, the old playlist shows it as deleted.
You can have a video in multiple playlists, but if you move one out of a playlist,
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Shows it as deleted.
Yeah. So what you need to do, if you no longer want it in a playlist, you take it out of that playlist, and then you have to go into that playlist and delete that line where the placeholder was for that. But you can have a video in more than one playlist. That is also possible. You just can't move it out. You just go back to that video and say, put this one in this playlist as well. Channel trailer. I'm sorry, I lost track here. 32 seconds long, great length. I'm going to pick on her banner here a little bit from the standpoint, okay, you're going to see it on a phone pretty well, but I know that there's some stuff cut off here. I just know that there is. And so this is there's something cut off at the top.
She said, I still haven't learned how to make a banner. That was me and my daughter trying to get the size right. Jason, help me. I'll be taking up on that.
Well, Susie, we can help you out with that on a Tuesday night. We can show you exactly how to do it. But yeah, and folks, if you're having problems with lining up a banner, and you're not in you've done something yourself, like Susie has done here. I don't know how Canva would handle her artwork as far as resizing and all this, but we can show you how to do that. And if you run into that, just feel free to email us, twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com, and we'll certainly get you going on that. All right, so let's jump back to the About page and see if we can get some more information on Bandana Grandma. Description reads as follows: Senior mom of 7, grandma to 8, building an organic mini farm and orchard on less than 1/4 acre in suburban zone 7B, Maryland. My permaculture homestead includes 10 veggie beds, berries, 12 dwarf fruit trees, some espaliered into a living fence. I hope I pronounced that correct. I know what it is, but many herbs and pollinator flowers. Seeing is believing. At 68 years old, this out-of-shape grandma personally dug 2 4x8 by 3-foot trenches with a shovel to make yucca culture beds, and I have the videos to prove it. Watch me crochet and sew. Join me in my vintage-inspired kitchen for baking and cooking, plus pressure canning, dehydrating, and freezing my harvests. You might even catch a glimpse of my kitchen fairies who magically help me cook and clean. Listen to my frugal financial tips and laugh and cry with me as I share stories of faith and family. I love to hear your stories too. She has a mailing address in here, and it is duly noted that it is not her home address. So for those of you that thought you would just, drop by, I don't know where you're going, but it's not her house. There's a live stream every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Mondays. Email address is in the proper location, and links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and her Etsy store. I need to have... Sherry, grab your mic there, please. I want you to pull it over in front of you. I'm going to turn it up here, because I want you to share with the people a little bit about Bandana's products.
Her products?
That she sells.
You mean her ponchos?
Her
and
ponchos.
Her wonderful mittens that the girls try to steal
her
from me?
wonderful mittens. And all of that because of kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, she is, she crochets like crazy. She makes wonderful ponchos and wool mittens. Oh my gosh, her mittens are so warm that I've had to hide them from my granddaughters because they think they should wear them. My one young granddaughter, Kaylee, also is now a big fan of bandanas. Yeah, 360. Susie is quite amazing. Quite amazing. And if you catch her at the right time when she's walking around like a meetup or a conference, if you catch her at the right time when her husband's manning her little tent, you may get your product at a good sale price. Right, Susie? Oh, she is amazing. That she is. That she is.
So did you just...
Yes, I did. I talked her up really well. Yep, recycled wool sweaters. That's right. In fact, I found some the other day. Because I used to make small animal beds, like dog beds, out of recycled sweaters. And I came across quite a few of them the other day. Yeah, you fired him that day, didn't you, Susie?
Well, be sure you check out her Etsy store. I don't know if she's got it loaded or not, but I'm assuming she probably does. Well, maybe not. Going into Christmas, maybe she sold out of everything. Who knows? But wonderful lady. Let's jump back on her page here. See what she has in the way of playlists. You know, she's been doing this page for a minute or two. So, all right, we're just gonna go to the flea market playlist first. Take a peek at it. And Susie, there's no description. No description. All right. So we'll go back to, I have to go to this one. How to make soap, because I see somebody else in that thumbnail. But there's no description. And for those of you that, Susie's on the right-hand side here, but the lady beside her, another friend of ours from Colorado, from Colorado. So don't even ask how Colorado got mixed up with Maryland. But this is the author of a very well-known book, Dining on a Dime. Did I say it right? Yes? No?
Anything. Your show.
All right. Well, anyway. But there's no description. We're going to do one more here. And no description again. So Susie, you could take you got a lot of playlists. You can take a couple days and go through these and add some descriptions on your playlist here. Let's take a look at your thumbnails. Susie, are you using a program like Canva to do your thumbnails? I'm just curious because they almost kind of have this look that you're using some sort of maybe that type of a program to create these bright, colorful, with the color boxes and the contrasting text. But I've got to be picky. And that is, get my magnifying glass out here. There's so much text on here that it makes it, in my opinion, it's making it way too busy. And the same way here, mega. Okay. And then just creating these and adding text on it. Okay. So I like what you're doing, but I think you're going too much with the text. This is in my opinion. And you're obviously, that lower right-hand corner, if you notice, anytime you put something in that lower right-hand corner, YouTube covers it up. YouTube just goes and covers it up. But overall, great job. Good bright colors. I see something here that I would pick on you about, but because of the way you have done your thumbnails, you really can't. You've utilized the same picture in your last 3 videos. And normally I would say that's an absolute no-no, but there's enough difference. It's so different because half of that thumbnail is drastically different from this picture. So it worked for you. It absolutely worked. So just a couple things to remember. If you add text on a thumbnail, it has to add to it. It has to enhance the video. Can't be the same thing as what you're going to find on the title. And the best thing is action words, keywords on the thumbnail. Your homepage, you have your trailer video, popular uploads. I'm not a fan of those, but Okay, because of what I'm seeing here, I need to make mention of this. And I understand why you have done this. You've utilized the same picture here in this series as My Faith Journey series. I don't know. The tops are enough different that it obviously would indicate a different video. But at a glance, I'm not sure it does. And also the tops are, as you can see, they're cut off. They're cut off, so you can't read the whole thing.
It's the same verbiage that's in her title.
And same verbiage that's in the title. Good catch. I didn't go that far. I was just looking at the thumbnail. So those are some other thumbnails you may want to consider a slight modification. Uploads. Living on a Dime is the
Tara.
Tara. That's it. Susie, I would, if I had to give you a hit list, I'd say first thing is go into your playlist and put descriptions in your playlist. Your about page is pretty darn good. Playlist, descriptions. I would selectively choose to perhaps replace some of these thumbnails a little bit at a time. Try to stay away from redundant verbiage between the thumbnail and the title. On your homepage, I'm not a fan of popular uploads. I'm not saying take it off. This is one of your playlists, and this playlist has a description, so you can see that it's showing up here. But I would consider a slight modification on these thumbnails where it shows the entire thumbnail. Uploads, of course, that's everything. That's a default container. And I would just get rid of the created playlist, because if I want to see all your playlists, I'll just go to your playlists. I would selectively put out of here and maybe modify it 2, 3, 4 times a year as to what you're displaying on your front page. But I think you can have about 10 containers total on this front page. So I would put individual containers, fill up this page, make it uniquely yours for others to look at. So Susie, thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure. I'm glad to have you. And we value your friendship and want you to know that. So let's go spin the wheel again and see who's next.
7 o'clock.
Oh, it's 7. We can't spin the wheel. But what I can do, very quickly, just remind everybody, we have some shirts on sale. So normally they're $20 a piece, but if you're in this stream, send us an email. It's $15 for one. If you buy 2 or more, they're $14 each. And if you buy 4 or more, they're $13 each. If you're a member of Smudge Us Back, you get an additional 10% off. And that's delivered in the continental United States. So we have our 2020 shirt and our socialized shirt. So we've...
Welcome to Chicken Landia. Gosh, I wonder which one she's laughing at.
So, oh, and if they're If they're the extra large sizes, 3X and above, there's a slight extra charge on those bigger shirts because it just simply costs us more money. So, I think I've stated about enough there. TwoFamilyHomestead@gmail.com. Special thank you to our new Smudges Pack members, which would be Grammy Karen and who else was it?
360.
360, I believe it was. So, Grammy Karen, 360 Homestead, and the Rusty Pepper. All three.
Once she figured out how to do it. Okay, she's really not new, but yeah.
So, thank you so much. We appreciate that so much. If you'd like to become a member.
Grammy Karen sent us her address. 360 hasn't yet.
Okay, but you told them that in the chat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else you can think of that
Nope.
I haven't done?
Nope.
Later this evening, let's see, we've got Garden for Cheap.
Garden for Cheap, Broussards.
Garden for Cheap, I think, is on now, or Garden for Cheap. If you go check out these channels, tell them Smudge sent you. Just hop into the chat and say Smudge sent us. So Garden for Cheap, Broussard Homestead will be on later. And I don't know if there's anybody else or not. Anything from you?
No.
All right, folks, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Bring a friend next week. I'm 99% certain we will be here next week, and we'll discuss New Year's Eve after that then. So take care, everyone. Have a great week. Drive careful, especially with the snow coming through in the northern states. And we will see you next Monday night with Samson.
Mm-hmm.
Next Monday night, Samson Farms is our guest on Monday Night Live. Take care. Good night, folks.